Hello, and welcome back to Tuesday Tutorials. I'm Lisa Mitrakin, and you on YouTube and Facebook and all of my patrons voted on me doing more of these recorded coloring tutorials. So today I want to show you my technique for coloring dark skin tones in soft lighting. Many of you probably remember this dark skin tone tutorial from way back in the day. It was very well received, and I'm still seeing colorists posting their versions of this character on Facebook. Lots of fun. But if you recall, this one was all about dramatic lighting and really bringing out the bone structure with high contrast. I actually used more white and cream colors than black and brown on this character, even though she has very dark skin. So after learning that technique, many of you requested a follow-up lesson on even darker skin and specifically in soft lighting. I have just the character to demonstrate that effect on. This is a patron-exclusive gift page called Glamour Gal. If you're already a patron, the page is up there waiting for you. If you're not a patron, consider joining us. We have lots of fun. Actually, the original Dark Skin Tones lesson started out as a private patron demo. I want to stress this though, there's no need for you to have this exact page to practice the effect that I'm about to show you. Any portrait drawing will do, like the original Voodoo Queen, which is a free gift in my Facebook group Talm. Anyone and everyone is welcome to Talm, so if you're not already a member, just join the group and check out the gift page albums. There are freebies, YouTube pages, and survival coloring, all free download albums. There's lots to play with, so swing by and check it out. So now that you have a character to color, let's get right to it. Me, I decided to work on tan-toned paper, and of course I started with white charcoal. You will rarely see me draw a color on white paper anymore. There are just so many benefits to working on toned paper, there's really no reason to not go with it. Now, which one though? Gray or tan? How do you decide? This skin tone will actually work just as well on gray paper as on tan. Actually, if it wasn't for that stained glass window in the background, I would have gone with gray. But I want the window to come across as giving off really soft and warm light, so I went with warm colored paper. The stained glass in this illustration is interesting. It's certainly not necessary for what I'm about to teach you, and it can even be distracting, but it can also play in our favor. You asked for soft diffused light, so I will make this glass barely give off any glow. I'm not going for the epic backlit character effect, nor am I actually interested in any of the colors that a stained glass may display. Instead, I will use this element as a very gentle and distant light source. But it's not the only light source in this composition. Remember, I don't want my character to be backlit. I imagine her to be in a room with multiple windows, maybe even outside. Regardless, the light that is cast on her is not directional. It's diffused. It's all around her. You will encounter lighting like this on overcast days or in rooms with frosted glass, for instance. That's it. This window is more like frosted glass than stained glass. If you're working on a different page, consider establishing a light background or leaving it blank, the color of your paper. I like to show off colors through the use of contrast. In this case, I want the dark skin tone to be the center of attention. So to make that gorgeous ebony color really stand out, I will complement it with white, ivory, and golden tones. So now I've established my background glow. Did you notice that I was using a Q-tip for that diffuse light effect? I really like that trick, especially with white charcoal. Now for the skin tone. The first color may seem like an odd choice, but bear with me, there's logic to my madness. Yep, purple. As purple as they come. Purple haze to be exact, from the Black Widow set. The key to this skin tone effect is layers. Very well defined, consistent, solid color layers. Now, I would normally cover all of this skin with this first layer of purple, but in this case, I will leave her back and shoulder uncolored so that we can do it together in a live stream. I highly recommend that you don't section off your character this way though. It may be difficult to match your colors later. Do it layer by layer and color the entire surface that is skin before moving on to the next color. So why purple? It's an undertone. I looked at a lot of portrait photography for reference, and I also considered some of the pictures that you guys sent in explaining the exact skin tone that you would like to see. And what I found to be a common element in all of these models is that subtle lilac undertone to the skin. It's not chocolate colored tones, nor is it solid black like marble. It literally comes across as slightly violet. It's a gorgeous effect, but to build it up, it takes patience. For my second color, I went with a strong brown. In the Black Widow set, that's either cinnamon or negra. With this layer, I'm starting to establish some of the bone structure and definition. Remember, I'm going for soft all-around lighting, so you don't have to worry about strong directional light sources. I want to make sure that the elements that remain well-defined are the lips, the cheekbone, and the eyelid. So I'm leaving those areas with less pigment. For my third color, I used a very dark brown, chalk tone. Whatever brand or set you're working with, find the darkest possible brown that you have and go with that. If you don't have a brown that you feel is dark enough, you may want to add another layer of purple here, but dark purple, and then another layer of brown on top of that. Again, I'm following the shape of the face, applying more pigment to some areas and less to others. But I am applying pigment all over. I'm not leaving any parts blank. That light area on the cheek is not uncolored. It has all the same layers of colors. They're just very faint. And you do that by applying barely any pressure to the page. And finally, I moved on to black. Yep, solid black, the color that I tell you to try to avoid on life subjects most of the time. So why is this occasion so different? Black is only okay here because we've already established all of those layers of purple and brown. In this scenario, we're not really using black, we're dimming the shade of the violet brown color that we've established. All those layers of pigment were necessary for this part right here. This black will only come across as organic and natural and believable if it's enhanced by natural tones underneath. And that's why we don't ever start something like this with black. Give it a shot though, for science. Try my method and separately try to start a skin tone like this with black. You'll be blown away by the difference. The simple black version will look flat and fake and somehow uncomfortable to look at. Layers are the key to dark skin tone coloring. But going from light to dark to black is not enough to make this look like human skin. Now it needs to look smoother. Back to purple. This time brighter purple. I actually switched to Prismacolor for this part. I love how Prismacolor pigments layer over Black Widows. So smooth. But we don't want her to actually look purple, so more brown. Back to cinnamon. And for the final touch, my favorite blender pencil, 20% French Gray. I call it a blender pencil because the main way I use it is to add final highlights and smooth out gradients. It was tempting for me to add a lot of this color at this point. I even wanted a touch of white here. I prefer the high contrast look. I love my directional lighting and well-defined skin glow. But this is your lesson and you asked for diffused light, so I held back. And there you have it, my secret to really dark skin tones in soft lighting. I applied the same strategy to the black hair, layering my black pigment over an established base of brown, and finishing it up with a touch of light gray for the barely visible definition. I will continue working on this page next week, and I invite you to join me live. If you're watching this in the future and it's already sometime after May 26, 2020, there's a card right here that you can click on that will take you straight to that stream recording. There will also be a link in the video description, and probably I've also put a clickable window at the end screen because you are watching this to the very end, right? To help my channel? I'm sure you already clicked that thumbs up button. If it's not May 26th yet, stay tuned for that live stream to be set up and announced, and join me live to do more work on this page together. During the stream, you can ask me questions directly. I can zoom the camera in and out for you. It's just more personal and interactive. And I will also show you how to make those pearls look like pearls. And of course, because it's a live stream, we'll be joined by my lovely assistant, Tech Support, who may even share some of his childhood art with us. So we'll see you guys next week. In the meantime, try out this technique so that you can share your experience with us. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, don't like strangers, and don't neglect that like button. Bye!